sides, and no surprises there, seeing how close the game is. 1 point the difference as we get underway for the second quarter. Holding free kicks going to the direction of McCaffer in the middle of the ground. He's going to send a huge torp. Gets it towards the 30-metre area of the forward line. Went through the legs of Nicolodo, and then Keys, with the tackle, was able to hold things up.
And what a pleasure it is to see a torpedo kick.
Yeah.
You don't see them often these days.
No, you don't.
Hashtag bring back the torp.
Maybe wouldn't have been able to do too much under Mick Molehouse at the Pies. He's got free licence here at Garvey Oval. In fact, he's just won it back again. Get it off to a teammate. Now to Milne towards the boundary line. Doing well to punch that out of bounds is Brunskill.
Maybe he did kick a torp, and that's why he's playing here today. Otherwise, he'd still be playing for Collingwood.
Boundary throw in inside 50 for the Turtles. They trail by just a point, but both sides have kicked 3 goals apiece as it stands. So umpires ready to toss that back in. Williamson in the tap. Clever tap. Taglieri snaps around. Oh, nearly the goal of the day. But just rushed through for a behind.
Yeah,
and scores level.
For those familiar with the AFL, that was a Tommy Hawkins type forward ruck situation. Used his bulk, used his size, got the tap. The opposing ruckman couldn't get anywhere near him.
3-2-20 apiece.
Minute gone in this second quarter is kicking taken by Sean Desmond. It's going to be immediately turned over though. And calling for it in the middle was Jake Tyson. The old Eltham man ignores him, instead decides to go long and deep inside 50. Out
kick.
The back, it was a really good mark. Nicholas Milne. And he can go back and kick his first goal for the game.
Now, he's always been a great goal kicker, Milne. In the last, 18 months, he's played a lot more in the midfield for Old Eltham Collegians, and that's really helped them have another dynamic. But I guess with McCaffer and even to an extent Malone and Taglieri, he's sort of starting to revert back to that forward presence we know him all well for. Makes for a great contest.
Forms an exciting duo alongside Matthew Williamson, 2 players with Division 1 experience in the forward line. As in comes Milne and makes no mistakes. Old Eltham Collegians hit the front 4-2-26. Old Paradians 3-2-20. 2 minutes gone, second quarter.
Now, I was about to say what a great kick for goal Milne is, but I decided just to hold my tongue, just not to moz him, and sure enough, he put it straight through the centre. He's a great kick. If you want to teach a young kid how to kick for goal, just come and watch Nick Milne. He is fantastic, both as a set shot and also when he gets a ground ball on the run.
2 consecutive Team of the Year appearances for Nick Milne. 51 goals in 2022, 30 majors last year. That's his 9th of the season after kicking his first of the afternoon today. And as we said, it's a 6-point ball game. 4-2 plays 3-2 as we get back in the middle. Pretty similar to how it started in the first quarter with the Turtles getting on top, particularly in the midfield. We'll see what the Raiders do to respond. They win the tap, but again, Milne in the middle, getting the clearing kick towards half forward. Tough one for Tyson. 2-on-2 now with the numbers arriving. Cooper getting wrapped up in the tackle for the Raiders.
Yeah, and as said at quarter time, both teams, their pressure's good, so it makes for a great contest.
Certainly does. We're about 55 out from the Turtles' goal on the outer side. Tap from Learson. He's been impressive in the ruck today. McCaffer pushes his opponent out of the ground, got the handball away, and then they'll get another entry inside 50 through Milne. Hands from it from Keys. Did well to recover, got the handball out, but be wrapped up instead. And Old Eltham Collegians starting to loom now inside forward 50. They're 35 out from goal as it stands. Umpire quickly happy to get this moving. Williamson to do the ruck duties. Won the tap again. This time it went straight to the Paradians and cleared by Whittle. Good kick and good mark taken. Now chance here for Kafari. Was going to want to go, slipped as he kicked and still had time to get it towards the outer side. Good mark taken by Boundy. First time we've called his name all afternoon. He gets the 1-2 back from a teammate in Cooper and he sends it towards half forward for Merkel. Just went over his head. Johnston just got the handball away. Was cut off though by the Raiders and they've got a chance here on goal. The snap towards goal is across the face. Will stay in play at will, which will help Nolan and his team. We'll have a boundary throw in on the near side, about 20 out from goal.
Danger looms large for Old Eltham Collegians.
And also good awareness in defence by Old Paradians when Matthew Keys was looking for a handball out. They all gathered in close and congested the area, and therefore the Turtles couldn't have a shot at goal.
It's back up we go. Healy with the tap down. Plenty of players surrounding this ball. It's not going anywhere. Old Eltham Collegians get out on it. Nolan, what a goal this would be. It's just going to go to the left. Took it out of nowhere, Marcus Nolan. Barely any space and managed to get a boot away, but it's just a minor score. 3-3-21, 4-2-26, Old Eltham Collegians. 5 minutes gone, second quarter.
Russian McCoach to Ellis. who's going to switch it across. Dangerous kick and a bowled over Moroney. And it'll be a boundary thrown in the same spot a minute ago. So, very tough kick from Alice. And now the Raiders with another chance. So, we'll keep an eye out here for Marcus Nolan, who's looming large around this stoppage as we get the boundary throw in. Incoming, it's going to be Healy up against Leeson. Healy getting the tap forward, almost ran it himself. Merkel from the behind post is going to snap towards goal. It's across the face. Is that a mark? No, umpire said it was rushed through first and foremost. So it's now 3-4, 22 Old Paradians. Old Eltham Collegians are 4-2, 26. And the Turtles are off to the races. Russian McCoach gets it towards the centre wing out of side. And they've already moved it towards half forward through Murphy's looking for Taglieri. Didn't get to him. Intercept comes from Brunskill, the former Cobram man. Great defender so far this year for the Raiders. He's going to switch it across. It's Desmond with the mark. Still in defensive 50 at the moment. Desmond goes towards centre wing broadcast side. Off hands. Milne did well to apply the pressure. In now comes Healy towards the boundary line. Cox couldn't grab him and he trips over the umpire in the process. Healy meanwhile goes towards half forward. Turtles win the ball back quickly. Alice though under a little bit of pressure, but he might win the free kick anyway for a hold. And his umpire will force that ball to go back. And they'll reset here at Old Eltham Collegians.
On the half-back flank.
That's Hallett, I think.
I think it is Hallett. His kick was a bit of a grubber and the mark was dropped. Nolan looming large, applies the tackle. It wasn't a good kick by Hallett.
Yeah, it was very risky. It was almost a daisy cutter, but there were opponents right around his teammates, so lucky not to have that go right back over his head.
As Healy got the tap down, gets the high free kick, and in fact, there's Blair Healy, who, for a big man, has got some pretty smooth moves and some pretty decent wheels on him as well. As he's outside 50 here, probably too far out to score. Looks for Kafari. It's deep inside the forward pocket. Kafari out the back. It doesn't run onto it. Boundary throw in.
The sun's out. Lovely.
At least it's not directly in front of us. That's the one thing I'll say.
Oh, that's right. Good to have a bit of sunshine in the winter.
First day of winter today, of course. Boundary throw in, meanwhile. Ball gets tossed up. Healy at the back. Merkel got the handball away. Kafari on the goal line.
And you think he's going to get a free kick
here?
here?
I think you're right. He was bumped off it after he kicked. And it will be Anthony Kafari, who's already copped a couple of knocks today. He's going to have an opportunity on goal now.
Yeah, he's a very slight build, but he does have a lot of hair to protect his head, so that's probably a bit of a plus for him.
And that's the second time where it's gone through for a behind that Old Eltham Collegians have conceded the free kick beforehand.
So Kafari then will have another chance on goal. He's looking for goal number 6 for the season. Of course, 12 goals in 10 games last year, but 42 goals he kicked in 2022. So capable of getting big bags. He'll look for it again, and no problems for number 1 for Old Paradians. And again, it's goal for goal. And they get back the lead by 2 points, 4-4-28. Old Eltham Collegians are 4-2-26.
And we don't know the scores at the other grounds, but we definitely have picked the good game to go to. This looks like it's goal for goal. It's great, great contest, great to watch. The crowd's enjoying it.
Well, I'll go quickly. Mernda are up by 8 points at quarter time. Epping lead at the moment by 37 points. Ivanhoe by 20 points. Kinglake by 22 points. And then here, it's a 2-point game, Josh.
I do think in the end we actually have picked the better of the
division. Only the second quarter, boys.
It's shaping up to be an entertaining contest out here at the Garvey Oval. As France got the tap down. The clearance, though, to Braden Taglieri looking for Matthew Keys. It spills in the favour of his teammate, although he's wrapped up by a couple of Old Paradians opponents. In turn, Matthew Keys applies the tackle. Alongside Jay Smith marks them. We'll get a forward 50 stoppage. Immediately moving this ball inside 50 Old Eltham Collegians after conceding the last goal. They trail by 2 points out here at Garvey Oval. As the tap down there went in the direction of Old Paradians, and they get this clearance. In fact, it's a high free kick. Umpire calls advantage. They go to this near side to the Paradians. Looking there for, I think it was Mitch Merkel, who managed to get a handball away. Ericsson tried to spin his way out of trouble. Instead turns it over.
Ooh.
Nearly taken eye Campbell Pryor. In fact, he was taken eye the former Penn Hill man. He'll get this free kick, Campbell Pryor. True centre wing on this broadcast side. Looking for options. He's got Leeson calling for it short. Instead decides to go backwards. Taking the mark there, Braden Taglieri looks to play on immediately. It was a risky kick to Bodie Maroney, who's up against Marcus Nolan. Nolan wins out, did really well, but then in the end turns it over. Fitzgerald got it out wide. And inside 50, Old Eltham Collegians go. Matthew Keys with the chest mark.
And he is a long kick. So he's 50 metres out on a 45-degree angle. And I think there's a blood rule. There's someone coming up. But I'd say he does have the distance if he wants to go for it.
There's an injury to an old Paradians player. He's on his feet and heading towards the bench.
I was about to say, was that a...
So I'm not quite sure. I still think the Turtles will have this set shot on goal through Keys. We're just waiting to see. I think he was still on the ground, which is why they just took a bit of extra precaution. But he seems okay, which is good. And instead we're going to see an opportunity on goal now for Matthew Keys, who's a fair way out. Man on the mark's probably just inside 50 metres. And Keys will look for his second of the afternoon.
Inside 50 he goes instead, looking for Williamson, affected the contest. Old Paradians have the numbers on the ground though, spills out of bounds.
Now, Williamson hasn't had a mark yet, but he's looked a chance 2 or 3 times. He still could be dangerous as the game progresses.
So, boundary throw in then will be about 30 out from Old Eltham Collegians goal. Our trail by 2 points. It has been goal for goal so far. Both sides with 4 majors at the moment. Williamson in the ruck. Here's McCaffer. Got the hands away to a teammate who snaps on goal. That's across the face and out of bounds on the full. So, not to be for the Turtles. And
again, good use of the ball by McCaffer. It wasn't his fault that the ball went out on the full. It was a good handball out to a fellow in a little bit of space.
So it's Will Gilmore who's got the footy in hand. Of course, his brother Sam not in action today. We'll be back shortly for Old Paradians and continuing his great season for them. Here's Gilmore in the back pocket. We'll go to high ball right in front of our commentary position. Alice got a good look at it, didn't take the mark. Front and centre and clearing it away is Cooper. He goes towards the middle of the ground, bouncing ball. Getting there first should be Maroney. Picks it up on the bounce. Chipping ball towards the corridor for Taglieri. Tough to mark, but he did really well. The former Eltham captain sends it inside 50 for Vindanopoulos. And he takes a good mark. And might be happy to go back and have a shot. He's about 40 out, 45-degree angle. And Vindanopoulos, in his 96th senior game, will look for his 4th goal of the season.
It's been terrific in that forward line the past couple of seasons, and even going back to the old Vaffa days for Old Eltham Collegians.
So Paul Vindanopoulos has played all 7 games so far in 2024 after just 9 senior games last year. Comes in, distance, won't get there. It's across the face anyway. Williamson, across the face. Yeah. Now, Williamson and Leeson both had hands on that footy. Williamson pleading for that to be a mark. Leeson sensed that he wasn't going to pay it, quickly went for a goal and went across the face for a behind, and now the Turtles trail by a point 13 minutes into the first term.
4-4-28, 4-3-27, as Nick mentioned, the 1-point margin, and it's Ericsson who looks to go to the far side with the kick in. He's got a man all by himself, leading up well was Boundy, but instead turned it over. Gets the shot away, does the Old Eltham man. Williamson in the square, punch through, almost spectacularly.
Boundy may have been slightly unlucky. I thought he got a bit of a shove in the back there, but Hallett got away with it.
I was going to say, it was Hallett with that shot on goal as well that nearly got through. And for a man that's only kicked 1 senior goal, I'm sure he would have been happy with that. But nonetheless, scores a level, and Ericsson will try again. Time he was looking for Kafari, didn't get to him. Johnston at the bottom of the pack. Picked up and then handball away for Colatillo. In a bit of trouble. Back to Kafari, spun his way and it was caught really high by McCaffer.
And that's about the 3rd or 4th high tackle he's got. He must have something that attracts opponents to do that.
And he's slow to get to his feet again, Kafari. He's been really just having a word at the moment to the runner, but Kafari is okay. 50 metres. So, not sure what that's for. I reckon it has something to do with that runner that was around the mark. He did go and approach him just before. Kafari very quick though. He's on the outer side. Was hesitant before and then now sends it towards half forward, and a good mark by Healy. Just inside 50. And he has really stood up both in the ruck and in the forward line without Sam Gilmore in this team, and Healy with another chance.
He seems to cut above Blair Healy. Obviously, he's learning at the feet of one of the best Division 1 ruckmen the last couple of years, so that'll probably be invaluable. But I'm liking his game a lot.
So to be the first multiple goal kicker of the afternoon, a chance here for Blair Healy. He will start his approach and kicks from just outside 50, and that is true. Lovely goal from Blair Healy. Kicks his seconds. And the lead swifts back to the Raiders. They're 5-4-34. Old Eltham Collegians are 4-4-28. 15 minutes into the second quarter.
And Healy's been very impressive, as Josh has said before. He's got a bit of speed. He's got a bit of flair. His decision-making is good. His hands are sure. And as we saw there, he's a beautiful kick at goal. If you want to learn how to see how to kick a drop punt, that's a perfect example of. He's got a beautiful ball drop, and the ball spins beautifully right the way through.
I might ask for a couple of lessons then from Nick Millen and Blair Healy, because they are beautiful kicks, those two. Back up in the middle we go. Sean Leeson down to Brett McCaffer. Inside 50. Here he goes. Cut off by Luke Erickson.
Been great in the second quarter, Erickson.
He has. He got into the contest late in that first quarter as well. Been solid as a rock in defence. Likes to go short to James King. Got a handball option behind. Decides to use him. Man goes to the broadcast side, centre wing. Flying in from the side there was Learson. On the ground is Declan Brunskill. Learson picks up this ball after it was smothered. Old Paradians applying some really good pressure. Might trickle out of bounds. It doesn't. Rush to McCoach. Just rushes it onto the boot. And Declan Brunskill intercepts it. Again, got a handball receive option. Decides to ignore Sean Desmond, who's calling for it short. He continues to ignore him and just decides to go down the line and might turn it over. He does. It's Brett McCaffer who gets the intercept mark.
He'll switch it across goal and find a teammate. So a chance now for Pryor. Back to McCaffer. Takes a bounce in the defensive 50. And Milne out the back it is. But great mark. Intercept mark coming from Nicolo, who goes inboard. A good kick to King. Hold on. What's happened here?
Oof.
Block against James King. Ball won now by Old Eltham Collegians. He's going to go to Murphy right in the middle of Garvey Oval. Murphy plays on with the right boot. Sends it inside 50. It won't get to his target, but Nicolo dropped the mark. Chance now to be cleared away, and it will be by Desmond, who goes towards the centre wing of broadcast side. Good pressure from Moroney, but the mark's taken by Nolan, who's going to get the 1-2 from a teammate. Still wide. Handball away now. And then it's Merkel, whose kick is too wide. Out of bounds on the full.
And a beautiful set of handballs there by the Raiders, all mucked up by Merkel because he couldn't kick straight. Rush. But nonetheless, they're moving the ball pretty well out of congestion.
Rush and McCoach chipping ball just gets to Murphy, who's been pretty solid again this year. Jeremy Murphy, really impressed with his game. Sends a high ball towards the middle. The Raiders with the numbers, and that's a great mark out the back taken by Merkel. He's had an almost game, Mitch Merkel. Wants to be rewarded with the goal soon, you'll hope. Finds O'Sullivan now. He sends it towards the Healy direction, and with the big outstretched arms, takes another mark, Blair Healy. And he's going to look for his third of the afternoon. We know the distance won't be a problem from here. The man on the mark's probably just inside 50. But Healy will have another crack. And he's looking for his, as we said, third goal of the game. This is before half time as we tick towards time on. His side lead by 6 points. And he comes in, Healy, and that's missing to the left-hand side. And they move to 5-5-35 Old Paradians. Old Eltham Collegians to 4-4-28. We're 19 minutes into the second quarter.
Yeah, he looks a real danger there up forward, Healy. I'm not quite sure who the right matchup is for him.
Wouldn't mind Tim Ellis, maybe. I mean, playing a bit of a role on him. I know he's still got the height advantage, Healy, but
yeah,
we'll see.
He definitely does. And Ellis has been impressive in patches this game as Ruston McCoach goes to the far side looking for Learson, who picked it off the ground but turns it over. O'Sullivan. Kick was intercepted there by Campbell. Pryor looks to immediately move it to Brett McCaffer. Half-back flank on the far side, McCaffer is. Players calling for it, might be forced to go down the line. Umpire calls for him to play on, and he does so down the line. Healy could have taken the mark, instead decides to go the two-fister. Sees it out of bounds for boundary throw-in.
Yeah, McCaffer wasn't too happy with his options there, so he was forced to go down the ground, knowing that Healy was in the hole to intercept. And
Yeah,
that's what
I think the Turtles needed a few more people moving to create the 45 kick for him.
As Whittle got the handball out, they're looking, I think it was Marcus Nolan. Down the line he goes looking for Cole Mahoney. And ball will be tossed back up. So just about to tick into time on in this second quarter in the NFNL match of the day between Old Paradians and Old Eltham Collegians. The rate is 5-5-35. Old Eltham Collegians 4-4-28 out here at Garvey Oval as there's a whistle. I'm not 100% sure what it's for. It looks like a stoppage in play or something's happening. We're clueless, or I'm clueless at least at the moment, but I don't think it's a free kick. The ball tossed back into play now. Leeson front position and the backwards tap. France with the clearance though, and the high up and under kick, finding Noah Whittle, who's paid the mark. Will look to immediately play on. Might be a bit too far out to score. Just outside 50. Sets it up to the forward pocket on the far side. Big pack forms. On the ground is Merkel. Goes the left foot snap. Umpire calls play on. Kerr managed to get a handball away. And it falls out to an Old Paradians man who gets the shot on goal. It's McCappa. Takes the intercept mark and unloads another torp again. Goes out wide, but it'll be turned over to Sean Desmond. Ball inside 50. Finds a teammate. And that teammate is Cole Mahoney. This is a very tough shot on goal, though, for Mahoney. On a very acute angle, and I reckon he'll be kicking right on the 50-metre arc, right near the Old Eltham Collegians bench. 18 goals in 74 senior games, Mahoney. I think he's just looking to set it up. No, dance past his Old Eltham Collegians opponent, then was taken down. In turn.
Oh, he's giving it away.
It's a high free kick.
No, so it was holding the ball originally, but Milne got in his face a bit too much. And he was able to win the ball back. Mahoney, who goes inboard. That's a good kick as well. And now a chance for O'Sullivan. So, bit ill-disciplined there, Old Eltham Collegians. They won't be wrapped with that, because that was an opportunity now made pretty simple. And a chance here for Old Paradians to extend this margin out.
There have been a couple of ill-disciplined moments today from Old Eltham Collegians, have to admit. They haven't been as disciplined as they have been in previous years.
So, Kyle O'Sullivan then, who's not really a noted goal kicker, although he has kicked 3 majors this year. Comes in. Is that going to stay in? No, it's missed to the right. A couple of behinds now here for Old Paradians. They move to an 8-point lead, 22 and a quarter minutes into the second quarter.
Well, Nick Milne will be glad that that was a behind, not a goal, because they would have had the ball at midfield or beyond had it not been for that reversal.
So it's going to be a holding free kick after the big Russian McCoach kick. That's going to find Old Eltham Collegians on centre wing broadcast side. It's Smith Marks with the footy in hand. He's going to go corridor, which is always a dangerous kick. It didn't get to Burns, and intercepting that one on that occasion is Rufus Jones. He's going to go back to the same spot, and Learson will take the mark. So, bit of kick to kick.
It's 50.
It is 50. So there's been a few already. Umpire's hot on it this afternoon. Mark will be right on the paint of 50. Learson, not confident for goal. He's just going to send it towards the top of the goal square. It's going to be too wide anyway. Out of bounds on the full.
Yeah,
I feel like he rushed that, Doug.
That's right, he did. He kicked it either like a defender or a ruckman. It just seemed like he had a bit more time. If he was going to have a quick kick, he should have looked for a target. Otherwise, he should have just gone back and gone the long bomb for goal.
Oh, and the kick out from the Raiders is smothered by Williamson. And there's going to be a boundary throw-in inside the attacking 50 for Old Eltham Collegians as a result. As we tick towards the 24-minute mark. This could be a vital stage of the game. As the Turtles trail by 8 points. It's a game-high lead at the moment, in fact, for Old Paradians. As the ball gets tossed up. Tap from Franz right towards the goal. Off the ground, misses to the left. And the margin's reduced to 7. 4-5-29 plays 5-6-36. 24 minutes second quarter.
I think that was Williamson with the kick off to the ground. Good effort there from the Turtle staff forward as the kick in from Ericsson finds Brunskill. Took a really good mark ahead of Timothy Ellis and Jay Smith Marks. Probably be forced to go down the line, the key defender, which he does now on true centre wing broadcast side. Merkel will fly from the side, affected the contest. Franz on the ground. It's instead Braden Taglieri. Managed to get a handball away before he was run down. It's out now to Maroney. Handball over the top to Jeremy Murphy. He's got plenty of space in front of him. Decides to immediately kick it to Brent McCaffer. Looks to go inside 50. No, in fact, it's a short kick. Finds Thomas Burns. Good lead up there from Burns as inside 50. He goes now. Keys against three Old Paradians opponents. Did really well to bring it to ground. Umpire will call for it. Inside 50 for Old Eltham Collegians.
Yeah, that kick by Burns had just too much hang time in it. And by the time Keys got there, he had about 3 opponents bearing down on him.
I reckon the Raiders are starting to work out that Keys and Williamson are the 2 main targets inside 50 at the moment for the Turtles. As King, handball intercepted by Keys, but he had no room, and we're going to have a boundary throw in.
Yeah, that handball was intercepted from King, but it wasn't such a bad thing to do because he was coming inboard and there was no one there, and so he just handballed to the safety of the boundary area.
Boundary throw in. Ball gets tossed up. Keys to do the ruck work. The tap though from Franz, almost grabbing it was Taglieri. Jones, O'Sullivan, and almost a chance for Mahoney. He didn't quite get a clean look at it. And we have a boundary thrown again. The clouds are starting to get a little bit dark now, which is not ideal, but we are almost at half time. It is a 7-point lead for Old Paradians as it stands. Ball gets tossed up. Tap again from Franz. Almost able to get boot to ball, smothered. Now Mahoney gets a high ball towards the scoreboard. Milne, courageous, but ran out of room. And we'll have a boundary throw in right in front of that scoreboard. Which reads Old Paradians 5-6-36. Old Eltham Collegians 4-5-29. So we tick towards now the 26-minute mark. Leeson, high tap, straight to McCaffer. Half forward to Smith Marks, who gets it on the chest. Still too far out from home. Chipping ball inside 50, and that was just not a great kick for his forwards. And Niccolo with the intercept. We'll look to clear away. Sends it high again. Oh, that's a very late whistle. It was a bump after the kick, but it was a bit of a late one. But nonetheless, Old Paradians will win it back between wing and halfback. Handball coming from Franz over to Eriksson. Has to go back to Franz, who has to go back to Eriksson, but that handball was too hot. Eriksson still has time to pick it up. Now he's under pressure from Murphy. Got it away well to Tom Cooper, whose kick wasn't great either. Now ball's at ground level. Franz having to do a bit of the grunt work as well, and the umpire will call for a ball up.
And Franz looked like the onus was on him to atone for his earlier error, and he did manage to force a 50-50.
As McCaffer sharked the Franz tap, inside 50, Jones spilt the mark. Burns applied the tackle on Jones as Eriksson looks to pick up the crumbs. Doesn't. An umpire circling. He's going to call holding the ball against Old Eltham Collegians. And it's going in the direction of Declan Brunskill. Stepped it up the last couple of minutes in defence as Old Eltham Collegians press hard. Out wide he goes to William Gilmore, who's also a former senior best and fairest winner out here at Old Paradians. Down the line he goes, looking for Nolan with the fly, couldn't take the mark. McCaffer can't run onto it, neither can Jack Fitzgerald, and we'll get this ball tossed back into play right in front of us.
Yep, great position. I don't think there's much time left in this quarter, you would suggest. We're almost at 28 minutes now. The Raiders lead by 7 points. Boundary throw-in incoming. Tap from Franz. McCaffer went in hard, didn't get the footy. O'Sullivan, secondary stoppage.
Yeah, and the Raiders would be happy to go with this lead to half-time if they can hold in defence here for another minute or two.
We've kept the Turtles to just 1 goal in this second quarter. Tap again from Franz. This time it's read by Kafari, who goes back, and then the kick is very wide. Out of bounds on the full. Chance here for Russian McCoach, who is told to go. Right foot, high ball towards half forward. A lot of numbers here. Going in hard was Keys. Can they keep it in play? Smith Marks will take it out. Boundary throw in.
Plenty of distance in that kick by Rushton McCoach, but it drifted a bit wide. Didn't give his forwards much of a chance there.
I was about to say, if he unloaded the top as well, maybe he might have had the distance to go to the goal squares. Back up in the forward 50 of Old Eltham Collegians we go. Handball from Williamson. Run down was Moroney. Umpire didn't ping him. O'Sullivan got the handball out to Tom Cooper, who might turn it over here to Learson. Instead, it finds the boundary line, and there goes the half-time siren. Old Paradians lead 5-6-36. Old Eltham Collegians 4-5-29. And a pretty intriguing first half of footy out here in the NFL match of the day between the Raiders and the Turtles, Nick.
Certainly is.